Intrigue, diplomacy, alliances, true love, all of these things are words that could be used to describe cosmic encounter. Maybe not true love unless you consider cold pacifism true love. So, actually, yeah, that works. True love. The Art of the Deal is a book that's been recently described by its author, Donald Trump, as being second only to the Bible. Now, in this book, he outlines different tactics for being successful in the business world. Oddly enough, these tactics can be applied to complete galactic takeover, which arguably that was its initial original purpose. So you must apply the art of the deal to manipulate your friends and family to gain a stronger presence in the galaxy by eradicating your friends and colonizing their home planets. Now, in its base form, Cosmic Encounter is simply a game of war where you're comparing cards and the highest number wins. Underneath that very basic premise is the fact that there are negotiation tactics, there are alliances that you can make or break, and at the heart of it, there are a myriad of alien species that each player will personify and take that specific power and apply it to the game, which changes up the strategy incredibly every single time that you play. So what you've got is, on a nice Sunday afternoon, you, your friends or family can get together and try to commit genocide on each other, which is, I mean, really that's what Sunday afternoons are about. To start the game, each player has 5 planets with 4 spaceships on each planet. The object of the game is pretty simple. You want to get 5 points. And the way that you get points is by colonizing your opponent's planets. The way to accomplish this is, on your turn, you flip a destiny card which determines which player you're going to be attacking. In this instance, I would then attack purple. I'd take my warp gate here, point it at one of the 4 planets that the purple player has, and choose up to 4 of my own ships to attack the planet. Now, purple can't add any to its defense. Whatever ships are on there, that's what it's got as its base defense. Both of us can then call for allies. If I called for green to help me out and they decided to do so, they could put ships into the fight to add to my total score. If we won, we would both get to colonize the purple planet, and all of the purple ships would go into the warp and would remain there until they're able to retrieve those. Conversely, if we lost the battle, all of our ships would go to the warp. Now, once alliances have been decided, each player chooses a card from their hand, a starting hand of 8, and decides which card to play. And this is where it gets dangerously close to the game of war. So I'd pick 1, purple would pick 1. We'd add our ships, both defending and offensive, to whatever the total of the cards is. If we both played 14, I would come out ahead because green has allied himself with me for 2 extra ships. Now, there's a number of different outcomes that could come from the course of the game. I won't go over all of them, but one of them that's interesting to note is the negotiate card. Had we both played a negotiate card, we could have gone into negotiations. We then would have had 1 minute to make a deal. And that could consist of trading cards. It could consist of each agreeing to colonize each other's planets, or something to that effect. If we don't reach a deal at the end of the turn, at the end of the 60 seconds, then we both lose 3 ships to the warp. So as you can see, if multiple people are colonizing planets on each person's turn, it's very possible for 2 or more players to reach 5 by the end of the game. There's even been games where 4 people have won, with a 5th player being the only loser. Now, if you have a successful encounter where you either win combat or negotiate a deal, you then get a chance to make a second encounter. You flip another destiny card and attack whoever is determined there. Now, this is all interesting and it's pretty fun with the negotiate aspect, but honestly, it'd be a pretty dull game without the inclusion of the meat and the potatoes, the alien race cards. Now, each of these alien races offers a way to break certain rules of the game, and each player gets to play a particular race. There's races that will let you give your cards away that are no good and put them into other people's hands. There's ways to steal other cards if you're a particular alien. Maybe you want to mirror what the attack card is, so a 0-4 suddenly becomes a 40. Maybe you want to be a barbarian where you're pillaging and you're plundering, or maybe you could be a parasite and you can infest other aliens, or maybe you want to be fodder where it looks like you can overpower people, or you can overwhelm them with numbers. You could be a healer. I mean, there's the kamikaze, the warrior, the dictator, the vacuum. Really, the possibilities are endless, and this is going to change every single time you play. So sure, I was getting a little overwhelmed, and maybe I was just trying to prove a point that the game really has an endless amount of possibilities, and each time you play it's going to be a little bit different. As I mentioned, it's been around since the 1970s, and there's a reason it keeps getting re-releases is because people love this game. Really, and I'm not even joking when I say that the strongest aspect of the game are the alien cards, the fact that you take on a different race every single time you play. You know what? The next video I release will be me just reading every single one of these cards, so if you've got 20 minutes, stick around. Maybe I'll throw that up pretty soon here. The game scale's kind of funny. I mean, it's really not as good a game with 3 people as it is with 5. The more people that you have, the better the game is. Also, something to take into consideration if you are considering getting this game is the fact that I really went over a very brief overview of the rules. There's other videos out there where people explain it much better than I have. This is just a quick, why I like this game and why I think you should like it as well. And maybe to pique your interest into other genres of games that you may not have considered. For me, Cosmic Encounter is a fantastic addition to my collection, and I absolutely love it. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe, and we'll keep making videos like this. So thanks for watching.